Hey, what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And today I'm going to be doing a video that I don't think I've done this before, and I'm going to be doing the top 19 cards of 2019. I came up with this idea a little bit too late, I would say. So my list is like, it's not like probably like as good as it potentially could be. Like, obviously I'm still talking about like amazing cards, but like I want to get this rolling for next year and then really have like the top 20, like something like that I've been like keeping in my head all year, so I can kind of like make the list as I go, rather than try to like think of this, like go through all my decks and be like, what are cards that I feel like I discovered or played a lot. A lot of these are cards that I play in a variety of different decks. That's how I kind of tried to like think about this video, because obviously each deck has like individual heavy hitters that do a lot of awesome things, but I kind of wanted to do more like widespread things. Some of these might like break those exceptions, but a lot of these are like more widespread. So this is in no particular order. This is just kind of like the order that I wrote them in. But the first card I want to talk to you guys about is probably just like my new favorite like draw card, I would say, and that is Arguel's Bloodfast. I've talked about this card so much recently on my channel. This card is so good, and it like, I feel like this card is so cheap, and I'm almost like, why? Like, I feel like this card should just be more expensive. Like, it's so strong. You pay 2 life, you draw a card, you could do it as many times as you want to. So you could just do this and just draw so many different cards. And then you have the flip side. I've never really gotten the flip side off. I put this card a ton. I have it in a couple of different decks. But I've never gotten it off before. But I can imagine that it would be really good in desperate type of situations. So Arguel's Bloodfast, super great. The second card I want to talk to you guys about is one of my just staples. Honestly, I run this in every one of my white decks, and that is Crush Contraband. This card is so good. Sorry, I'm like hearing noises. Like, what is going on? Crush Contraband is such a strong card because it exiles not only an artifact, but an enchantment as well. There's the card that I'm blanking on the name of that's similar to this that I do like, but I like this card. The other card you can pick, I believe, 2 of the same one. I don't remember the card, but it'll be listed here. But like, I like that this one, I don't know, like I like that one you do it on your main phase, but this you can just do anytime. And honestly, there's always going to be artifacts, always artifacts. The enchantments are a little bit harder to come by, but there's definitely some really good targets for this. So I do really like this card a lot. The third card is Thaumatic Compass. Ixalan is just like boss. There's some awesome stuff in there, and Thaumatic Compass is one of the cards that I just love. It is 3 mana. You search your library for a basic, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Like, yep, love that. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 7 or more lands, you get to transform it, which is really nice, into the Spires of Orazca, and you have a Razaketh. Like, I love this card because it works at all stages of the game. Like, I feel like it is just such a good mid-range card, because you play this on early stages of the game to like pump out lands, and then once you're kind of like established and you have a nice flow of lands, you just have a Razaketh. Like, yes, this card is great. The fourth card on my list is Dawn of Hope, and I think I like got onto this card a little bit like after it came out, because I saw it and then I was like, ooh, that's cool, and then I just like didn't put it in anything, and now I'm like, this card's really good. I like this card a lot. Whenever you gain life, you pay 2 to draw a card, so like, yes, it is situational in that you do want to have a little bit of life gain, but honestly, even if you don't have that much, the tokens that you make with this for 4, you get lifelink. 4 is honestly kind of a lot just to get a 1/1 with lifelink, but honestly, you don't have to tap this, and this is really good if you have like nothing else to do with your mana. So I do really like this card. I think it's good and belongs in a lot of different white decks. The fifth card is Courser of Crewfix. Now, Courser is probably like just in like my top maybe like 20 just like good value cards. Honestly, I love this card. I love that you get to look at the top card of your library, and I love that you get to play it if it's on the land. It's not like you get to play like additional lands or anything like that, but I just like this card. I just like the different things that it does. I like that you get to gain some life. I like that it's a 2/4, so it makes it a little bit harder to kill. I just really enjoy this card, and I run this in like a lot of my green decks, and it's just a card like I'll always have on hand, and like I'll always play. I've been playing with this card for years. I love it. Cool. We are on the 6th card, and that is Curse of the Swine. I've been talking about this card so much recently. I love this card so much. It is so underrated. It is so cheap. It is like under $1, and it is such a good card. I love that this is blue because a lot of times in blue I'm like, oh, I don't have a counter spell. How do I do with the board? Curse of the Swine deals with the board. Like, it is so good. You exile stuff and you give them pigs. You don't really care. The pigs are significantly worse for them than whatever it is that you're exiling. This card's great. The 7th card on my list is Razaketh, the Foulblooded, and I love Razaketh so much because you can sack dudes, and like, you don't have to tap him. So you could do it as many times. You could be like, if like everyone's tapped out, for example, you could be like, okay, I'm just gonna like sack 3 dudes, pay 6 life, and just like tutor for 3 cards. Like, it's so easy to like go infinite with him, but honestly, I have him in Tasigur, and I also have him in Teysa, and just like the value is just like so good. Like, even if you're not playing infinite combos, like Razaketh is just so good to just get like value out of. On top of that, he's an 8/8 with flying and trample. Like, this card's amazing. I love Razaketh. And honestly, sacrificing something is like not a negative. Like, you don't care. The 8th card is one of my favorite board wipes, and that's saying a lot because I have a lot of favorite board wipes, honestly, but that is Hour of Revelation. And the reason I love this card so much is because it literally is a 3-mana destroy all non-land permanents. This is like one of the best board wipes in my opinion because it like literally gets rid of everything on the board. Everything. And it's only 3 mana. Like, you're going to get the City's Blessing. Like, it's not an issue. And then you just pop this off. This card is so good. It is an incredible budget card. I love it so much. Okay, great. The 9th card is Phyrexian Arena, and I feel like this is the year that I feel like I truly, like, I knew this card was good, but I feel like now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, like, invest the $10 that is this card, because it is just such an incredibly strong card. Beginning of your upkeep, you just draw 1 card and you just lose 1 life. Drawing cards is just, like, the best thing in Magic, like, let's be honest, and I like that this is a stagnant effect that always kind of happens, because sometimes you do draw like many cards at one time, but I kind of like that this is a little bit more stagnant because you are losing life, and if you don't have a little bit of life gain to recuperate, you can put yourself into sometimes a not great situation if you kind of like let's just take Razaketh, you could just like sack a bunch of things, like lose a bunch of life all in one to tutor kind of thing. But I like that this is kind of like you always kind of do it on your upkeep. I just think this card's well worth the money and just a really, really good draw card in black, especially just really good in like monocolor decks when you might not have other draw options. It's really good. The 10th card on the list is Reality Shift. I just love Reality Shift. Like, you exile something, they manifest, you don't care, you give them a 2/2. Like, I feel like every time I cast this card, I like always don't get a creature. It is like so good. I'm just like exiling, like, I mean, land's not great, but like if you're exiling like, I don't know, if someone's like instant or sorcery, like board wipe or like something like that, I don't know. I just really like this card. It's only 2 mana to do it. Like, I just think this is a great card. So good in, like, every blue deck, honestly. Alright, cool. Number 11 is Angel of Finality. And this card has just quickly become one of my favorite angels because it's just, like, I just really, like, I feel like this is such a slap in the face, honestly, to, like, when you have it and you're just, like, Angel of Finality, and you're, like, exile someone's graveyard. Like, it's just such a great feeling for you to, like, do that, because you just have so much, like, power in that moment to just, like, you know, have all these things destroyed. Like, it's the best to, like, destroy stuff, and then, like, Angel of Finality, and then it's just, like, oh, like, it's just, like, so good. It's, like, one of my favorite things to do, honestly. Like, this card is in Rune, and it is also in Angels, and in Rune it's so dumb, because you just blink it, and then they just never have a graveyard. Like, it is so good against graveyard decks. But honestly, like, I think the thing is, like, even if you're not playing against, like, a super heavy graveyard deck, like, it's okay. Even if you're just, like, getting rid of someone's graveyard that has a little bit of recursion, is still, like, really good. And then you're left with the 3/4 flyer, like, yes, this card's great. Number 12, I don't really know what to call these, the Horizon Canopy cash lands or whatever these are called. I really like these lands. I own a decent amount of them, but I probably should own a little bit more and like get more of them because I just think they're really strong. They only have these in the 5 colors, so they have them in the enemies. They don't have them in the allies, I believe. I think I'm saying that right, but these are really, really awesome. They, you pay 1 life to add to your pool. So it's really good if you just need the mana, but honestly, just to sack and draw a card, super straightforward, not a whole lot to say, but I like the double utility of, like, tapping for something when you need it, and you pay life, like, whatever, EDH, you have millions of life, and then, like, getting that ability at later stages of the game when you're like, oh, like, this is not, and then it just, like, is a redraw, basically, so I really like these lands. I think they're very good. Coming in at number 13 is Victimize, and Victimize is just so good. Like, I don't get this card. I don't get how this card is this good for 3 mana. You sack a thing, and dude, it's hilarious if you're just playing tokens or something and you just sack a token and you get 2 things back. Like, do people not get how good this card is? Like, yes, they come into play tap, so, like, you can't swing with them, but, like, you get 2 things back for your graveyard for 3 mana. I don't think people understand how good this card is. It is just insane. It's so good, too, if you, like, put things in your graveyard or things die, and then you just do this, and you're like, oh, sweet, I'm just gonna recur my 2 things that totaled, like, 12 mana for 3 mana. Like, this is such a stupid card. I love it. You literally don't care about the second creature. You're either sacking a token, you're sacking something that you don't care about, you're sacking something that's not as good as the things you put in your graveyard, or you're sacking something with a death trigger, which is, like, just even better. This card is so good. One of my favorites of all time, for sure. Cool. Yeah, 14 is Cyclonic Rift. I feel like, a couple of these as well at the end are kind of those, like, I kind of, I guess, realized the value, but again, was like, okay, I really should get this for all my decks kind of thing, and, like, have really kind of, like, taken some investments and, like, done some trades and, like, really made getting Cyclonic Rifts a priority. Honestly, this is, like, most people when they view Cyclonic Rift as, like, I'm gonna bounce the board and then win, and, like, yes, that does happen, like, I've done that, like, I do have that sometimes, but honestly, a lot of times I just do this when I'm going to die, and then I'm just, like, Cyclonic Rift, and then they have to, like, discard. That's really hilarious. And then you Angel of Finality and exile the graveyard. Oh, the tech's so good. Or Bajuka Bug them, which is really good. So, yeah, I don't know, I just, like, I like this, like, it's a good card, like, it runs in every, like, blue deck, right? It's just, like, such a good staple. Yeah. Great. Coming in at number 15, we have Arc of Orazca. You can probably see a recurring trend. I love drawing cards. It's my favorite thing to do in Magic. If I, like, draw 1 card a turn, I'm like, feeling pretty weak. I need to draw more cards than 1 per turn, definitely. And Arc of Orazca helps me get there. This is, like, you have the City's Blessing, like, that's not a problem, whatever, and then you tap for a land, and it's 5 mana to draw a card. I understand that 5 mana sounds like a lot of mana, and it is. But when you have nothing else to do with your mana, Arc of Orazca just comes in clutch. Honestly, I don't feel like, and if you know of any, please leave them in the comments below. I don't know of a lot of lands that let you draw cards, and honestly, I'm always looking for utility in my lands, and I like when lands do things other than just generate me mana. I want them to, like, do other things too. This comes in a pinch so many times. Like, so many times I'm like, ooh, Arc of Orazca, like, coming in clutch, just, like, draws me an extra card. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that good. It might look a little bit underwhelming, but I just, like, really like this card. I just like having that extra little, like, I'm gonna pay a lot of mana to draw a card, but it's, like, with a land, so just, I don't know, it just, like, works in every deck, too, because it's a land, it's colorless, which is great, so. Cool. Number 16 is Disdainful Stroke. And actually, funny story about Disdainful Stroke. One day, I was at Mage's Sanctum, and Vincent, who works behind the counter, was like, hey Tracy, did you, like, ask me about Disdainful Stroke? And I was like, no. And he's like, cool, well, here's a playset. So he gave me a playset of these foil ones, and I think that's part of the reason why I've just been, like, hoarding these, like, prized possessions. Like, I will never get rid of them, because I just, like, got these cards, and he just, like, gave them to me, and I just, like, I don't know, like, I just don't know, like, it was a really simple memory, like, there's nothing, like, crazy about it, but I just, like, really like them, and they're really pretty, and I love the, like, I don't know what it's called, the little line, I don't know, I just think this card's really cool, like, it, I feel like I'm talking about this card mainly because of like the memory, but I just like how I like have a playset of these, and they're in like, I think I have used all 4. Like I'm pretty sure all 4 are like set aside for decks, which is really cool. It's a cool card. Like I like it. It counters something with 4 or greater, which is a good portion of things in EDH, and I like that it's target spell, so you can counter anything, which is really good. So I like this card. The art's pretty sick. So yeah. Coming in at number 17 is kind of a mixture of talking about just like shock and fetch lands. And honestly, I've always kind of like run these cards, but I feel like I might have had like, not in like the early stages of like playing EDH, but like I feel like this year I've kind of like really prioritized like making sure I'm like getting a good or a better mana base, I should say. Like this has been the year where I'm just like, listen, I need my colors. I want these fancy lands, and this has just kind of been the year where I've just kind of like upped my game, to be honest, no pun intended. I just like, I want nice lands that do cool things that get me my colors. Fetch lands in particular, just because they get to like filter my deck and like thin through that. That's just become a huge priority for mine in my decks, is just like doing that, and I love that they get me there. And then my shock lands, because they get me my colors, and I love that. And I love that they have the you know, the 2 names on it, so like Swamp Island, for example, so that I can just like cast whatever I need, and if that matters for a couple of things, I do like that. So for like tutoring abilities, if I'm like getting a base, getting a land or something. So great. And then we have number 18 is Swords to Plowshare, and again, I've always kind of played with this card, but this card has just been like coming in clutch in just so many instances where I just like get to tap out, because I get to like, or almost tap out I should say, and get to like play all my big things, whatever, and then just have that 1 mana open, and then just Swords just comes in and saves me. Like, I don't care about the life gain, honestly. This is a great budget card if like Path to Exile is a little bit out of your price range. Like, this is just a really good card. I mean, I arguably, I honestly do think Path is better in EDH, because I'd rather give them the land than the life, but honestly, this is still a really good card. Yeah. And the last card, I think we're ending on, I would say like a high note, I think, and that is Ugin the Spirit Dragon. And this is another card that, again, I just feel like I've always been like, I've always wanted like Ugins, and then basically, Paul had gotten, I think it was in the summer, he had gotten the box topper version, and so I got his regular like foil Ugin, which is like one of the most expensive Magic cards I own. And it's just like stunning, and I only own 1 Ugin as of this day. I want to own more, because I just want to put this card in every single one of my decks. So this is like one of those things where it's like on the wish list. I need like 17 foil Ugins coming right up. That'd be great. It just, like this, I always just feel like in such a good commanding position when I'm just like, cool, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna exile the entire board. And I just feel like so secure whenever I just like exile stuff. I'm like, I emotionally feel okay. Like I feel like when I remove stuff, I'm like, okay. But when I exile stuff, I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's going to be okay. Which is pretty ridiculous, because I feel like if they don't have recursion, but I still get in my head and I'm like, but what if they have like recursion and then they recur something and then I just die? Like, that is like my head like goes there, and I'm just like, Tracy, like, they're not gonna do that. But like, that's where I think, or because I don't know. But anyways, I don't know. I just like, this is a card that's just like one of the number ones on my wish list, I would say, of just something that I really want, because, and I want multiple copies of, because just having the 1 copy of it in my 1 deck and my Tassiger deck, I'm just like, I love this. I love casting this card. I just want to cast this card more. So guys, that is everything for my top 19 Magic cards of 2019. I really hope to continue this series and make more videos in this in the upcoming years, because I think it'd be really interesting to do. But like I said, I'll definitely be a lot more adamant in 2020 about like cards that I feel like I've particularly been like cards that might be new, or cards that I just feel like I'm like, oh my god, I feel so great every time I cast this card, kind of thing. Guys, I'm so sorry, my camera really cut me off. It just died. I was like so close to making it through this video, but I just kept rambling on. I should have ended this sooner. But anyways, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video.